Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93. Two backcountry skiers escaped disaster on Quandary Peak when they set off an avalanche inside a couloir. The two were skiing on Sunday off Quandary's west ridge when a wind-drifted slab broke from above. One skier was carried 20 feet before stopping and was uninjured. The slide ran all the way to the bottom of the east-facing couloir, ending in a half-exposed boulder field. In the past 10 days alone, backcountry users have triggered 8 slides statewide, most of them right here in our neck of the woods on the Continental Divide and 10-mile range. Check the forecast through the week and into the weekend at avalanche.state.co.us. Public Health confirms the local man who died of COVID-19 last week was a 34-year-old Summit resident. He died of pneumonia caused by COVID. He was unvaccinated with no underlying conditions. This week on the State of Summit.
There's no silver bullet for truck safety, right? It's because human actions are kind of not predictable. I can't predict how someone's going to react when they lose their brakes are on fire, and they're going down the hill at 80 miles an hour.
That was Craig Hurst, freight manager for CDOT. He and his team recently produced an educational video for truckers.
When traveling through our state, truckers are likely to face many unique challenges. To keep you and the traveling public safe, we want to make sure that you're prepared for whatever you may encounter.
It's the first in a series targeted at out-of-state drivers, responsible for 90% of truck fires on I-70 and 83% of runaway ramp use statewide.
Even just from one side of the Eisenhower-Johnson tunnels to the other, a distance of less than 2 miles. The weather may change from sunny to rainy, no snow to whiteout conditions, or dry to slick roads.
Last week, eastbound I-70 was closed from Silverthorne to Georgetown for hours when a truck caught fire above Georgetown.
Between Morrison and Dotsero, you will experience numerous steep grades, some as long as 10 miles at a 6 to 8% grade.
This October, a runaway truck barreled off westbound I-70 into Silverthorne and flipped, closing Highway 9 for most of the day. Miraculously, no one was hit or injured.
Do not use exit 205 to leave I-70. Instead, stay on the highway and use the uphill grade just west of Silverthorne to slow down.
The CDOT video also covers rockfall, wildfire, avalanche, and chain-up stations. Sergeant David Everidge with Colorado State Patrol says he sees some wild things out on the road.
It's always interesting to see drivers stepping out of the truck in the middle of a blizzard in t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops trying to chain their trucks up because they're completely unprepared for Colorado.
Collaborating on the video were CDOT, State Patrol, and Colorado Motor Carriers Association. President and CEO Greg Fulton.
It's such a different type of situation, that they're facing there, and in many cases they haven't faced before.
This outreach effort comes as I-70 is getting busier and more congested. In the past decade, average daily traffic has grown 13%. In 20 years, it's up 22%. On holiday weekends, more than 60,000 cars will pass through Summit in 24 hours, nearly double the entire county's population on the road. And Hurst with CDOT says, what's good for truckers is good for everyone.
It's a truck safety video, but it's very relevant to everybody.
Tune in again next Wednesday for The State of Summit on Krystal 93. A state-of-the-art truck ramp is now open on Vail Pass, just above East Vail on westbound I-70. Krystal 93's Tony Morrow.
Should a rollover still occur, crews installed a containment system under the ramp that includes a geomembrane to prevent potential fuel, oil, or hazardous material spills from entering the soil or impacting Gore Creek. Materials will funnel to a settling basin for safe removal, protecting the surrounding environment. The ramp at mile marker 182 was used 14 times between 2016 and 2018. I'm Tony Morrow, Krystal 93 News.
In sports, the Avalanche play the Ducks tonight at 7. And in local sports, yesterday was race 2 of the A-Basin Rise and Shine Rando series, where Jason Kilgore won the men's race. Jill Seeger took the women's race. Ross Herr, Colton Hammer, Kate Zander, and Olivia Lyman round out your podiums. Next race in that series is Tuesday, December 7th. Get signed up online. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93.